So we're going to talk about the proper way to color in kindergarten. So coloring is a big part of our day because we talked about how we use these muscles to practice writing, and one of those ways that we can work those muscles out is by coloring. And also it helps us with comprehension. So if we know that you are understanding us, you're coloring it properly. So for example, I have the correct way to color. When you have an object, you should pick colors that are found normally or in nature. Okay, and so I use this example in class. This is an orange center with yellow petals from a flower because I actually have a flower like this in my backyard with a stem being green. Okay, so we wouldn't just take one crayon and color the whole flower a funny color like turquoise or brown or something like that. That's not beautiful. And so we wouldn't do that. And then here's another thing that I would not want you to do in kindergarten, and that's decorating something, especially something like a flower, because those are really fun to draw or color, but we don't have time for you to draw hearts and stars and decorate with squiggly lines and rainbows on everything that we have in class. So we would like you to stick to one color while you're coloring. So that is a non-example of how we don't want you to color it, and that's why I put an X through it. And then here, I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in a little bit so that you can see it a little bit better, because from a distance it looks okay. But if you look at that, it is a big mess. There's, an orange crayon that went like this, and the yellow crayon, I just kind of did it really quick, and I didn't fill in all of the blank spots. So we want to make sure that we fill it in with crayon, and I showed how to shade. So I might model that for you real quick. So this is a leaf, and it's a big area, and sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming for us to color in all the way. So I'm just going to show you a real quick way that you can do that. So how I shade is I outline wherever the black is. I just take my crayon and just draw a line. It kind of creates a nice little border, a visual border for me too, that, okay, this is where I'm going to stop coloring. And then I take my crayon and just color over it. So there's like a layer of paper underneath, and try and get all the white space or blank space there. And see how I just kind of take my crayon and run over it like this, and that shows me that I've colored it in completely, and that's called shading. Okay, and then here is another example of what you don't want to do. Can you see that? Oh, sorry. Oops, I put my finger there. All right, so that is a big mess. Okay, we don't color like that. All right, we don't, take our crayon, even though it's a pretty orange color, and color all over the place. We try and stay in lines and be focused. Okay, and so then we have this, and I'm just going to model it with a different color scheme. I have some impatiens in my yard, and they have a nice red center. Okay, it's found in nature. And then they have pink petals. So I'm going to model how you would do that with the pink petals. So I kind of do that, and then shade it in, and then shade it in, and then shade it in. It's very lovely. Okay, and I take my time. Oh, my hands are getting really tired, but that's okay. I might take my hands and go like this. My hands get tired, but as long as I'm practicing holding my crayons the right way, not pushing too hard, it should be okay. And then I trace the stem, and then I color in the leaves. A color from nature, all nice and pretty. There you go.